All right, welcome to a late night video. I'm going to be working more on this route export or importing exercise. So far it's kind of been a slog, but hopefully we can figure it out. Unfortunately, I only have about a half an hour to work on this, but let's focus on this stretch here, Biloxi to Memphis to Atlanta, and see if we can get Biloxi to, if we can get Memphis learning all of the routes from Atlanta, and if we can get Biloxi pinging both Atlanta and Miami. So let's open Memphis. It's not opening. There we go. Now it's open. Atlanta, move the icon instead of opening it. So hopefully it will open. It's not opening. Okay, now it's open. Yeah, I don't know why it takes so long. It's really annoying. I really wish it went faster, but fortunately, I mean, hey, I've got a lab. That's a lot of people studying for this test don't even have a lab they can consistently use. Or they got to pay for it and really like be smart about their time in using the lab so that they don't pay too much for it. But me, like I just paid a flat 600 for the server and could probably even resell it when I'm done for probably like 300, 200, something like that, maybe even the full 600. So it's kind of a no-brainer for me, but I'm probably not going to sell it because I can go for the CCIE, and that's way easier to emulate using this. So, and there is some overlapping curriculum too. Oh, sorry about that. Oh, okay. So it looks like I'm missing. So on Memphis, I've got, perfect. So I do have the two routes. So there's really no issue on Memphis with receiving these routes. The only issue is that um, they're not making it over to Biloxi. So unfortunately, yeah, we can see, and I can even narrow it down to the table. Yeah, there's just nothing being received. We can see there's two being received, but there's nothing being received here. So let's take a look at the policies here. Hopefully, and then let's just go ahead and experiment with these policies and see if we can get them showing up here. So I would have thought that you would need a export into IGP, IBGP. So let's try that. Although that is what I had before, so I don't know why it didn't work before, and I don't expect it to work now if it didn't work before, but something to try. All right, so hopefully those 3 routes. Aha, so here's the problem. We're only getting one of them. And it looks like the one we're getting is the one off of Memphis. So 172.24.16.0. So we're only getting the IBGP route when I do that, even though we've got all 3 of the routes being advertised. So there's something special about this route that these 2 routes don't have, that special attribute that makes it so that I'm only receiving this route, but I'm not able to receive those other 2 routes. So let's take a look at the route. Oops. Well, I mean, I guess we could see it right there. So the local preference is 100, the AS path is I. So maybe, but the thing is, if I try to ping one of these, so let's try it, I'll still, I believe, not have a route to it, so I won't be able to ping. Nope, no route to host still. All right, so be nice to figure out what the problem. Well, let's go ahead and let's experiment some more. Aha, so okay, that's what I had before. So let's see what I have now. And there obviously is a big difference between the 2 routes. We have this route here is configured on this actual device as the loopback address, but these were actually learned over BGP. So if I do the show route, you can see, and let me do show route specifically on these, and then we'll see there's a big difference between these routes. So here's the difference. We've got one that is direct, and we've got these 2 that are BGP. So the export policy is only taking this direct and exporting it into BGP. The policy for is not working on the routes for EBGP. So we obviously need some sort of configuration here under the EBGP in order to give these routes the special property that this route has here. Let's see if we can look at the route specifically regarding BGP. So show route protocol BGP. Let's see if we can look at this specifically. So fortunately, it looks like we cannot. You can see it is learned. Let's see here. It is learned through BGP here, path I. So we're obviously going to need to edit something to do with EBGP. But the question is, what do we need to do? So we'll start with an import and see if that works. And it looks like we got no difference there. So let's try an export and see if that will make a difference. So no difference there either. So it's pretty clear that the just simply using a import or an export statement on EBGP is not going to solve the issue. I'm going to go back and I'm just going to put all of them on there. So set import into BGP, set export into BGP. And now I will do the same thing for the IBGP group. And see if there's a difference. So again, there's no difference. So I'm not sure how to do that. So good old trusty Google. BGP, import EBGP routes, or import EBGP routes into IBGP. And let's do, aha, here we go. So this is the exact issue we're having. Learned EBG routes are not distributed to IBGP routers. And this is Cisco, but of course it will translate over. Okay, so I have in JNCIE-SP running, okay. Receives the route, but does not advertise it to router 3. Shouldn't the routes learned from this be advertised to IGP? Assuming you have no IGP configured, then the simplest explanation is that router 3 hasn't got a route to that loop back to that next hop when the IBGP update arrives at router 3. Since IBGP doesn't reset the next hop when it receives the update, it has to be reachable. The most basic way to set this is to configure a static on router 3. Best solution, configure a optional solution. Aha, so this is the whole next hop self thing. So most everyone when they experiment, aha, so yeah, you should have to announce your connected interfaces in. Oh, okay, so this is why it doesn't have a next hop. So yeah, I didn't advertise my interconnects, so it's making it across the link. Like if I go and I sniff this link, assuming it's the one with the traffic over it. So it looks like it's the other one that has the traffic over it. So I'll just sniff that other link. Okay, perfect. So now I'll clear that neighborship. and hopefully I'll get the updates packet. Oh, this is interesting. So on Memphis, it looks like the neighborship is 10.2.2.1. So that's for this link, and then this link. Ah, okay, and then 10.10.1.1. Okay, that makes sense. So I cleared that connection, so we're going to see the four-way disconnect. FINAC, ACK, FINAC, ACK. So hopefully there's going to be a three-way handshake popping up. And here's the notification message that says that I closed it. So cease. Got an error because I decided to close it. Unfortunately, it looks like the Wireshark capture stopped. But I can always start a new one. Let me just verify that it did go into established first. It did. So, yep, the Wireshark capture stopped. Just something that can happen. Okay, so hopefully we'll see that four-way disconnect, and we do. So now hopefully we'll see the three-way handshake. And that's interesting that it's just randomly stopping after that four-way disconnect. It almost seems like when it disconnects the, oh, okay, it's not inactive yet, or it's not established yet. So connect, open sent, and established. So here we go. Everything looks good. We got the update message. So let's see if those routes show up in the update message, and I can stop the capture now. Whoops. My left click is kind of leaving a lot to be desired. Could always use a mouse, but I kind of don't want to hook it up. So here's the handshake, SYNAC ACK, SYNAC ACK. We're going to have that race condition. Yep, so it looks like, oh, unfortunately, it looks like I was only capturing the race condition, the loser of the race condition. But in the race condition, I think it's going to try to do an update as well, which is kind of yet another reason why you wouldn't want that race condition there, because it's just extra traffic. And an update message, here's here's 172 is the length, so these can be a lot of extra traffic. So yeah, we can see that those are actually being sent, but the problem is if we come back to the router here, Biloxi, and do a show route, and they're probably hidden. Yeah, okay, perfect. So now we can see, yes, I did receive those routes. I mean, I'm surprised it's not showing up in receive protocol because I guess they don't count as being successfully received. But if I do show route hidden, you can see, yes, they are in the routing table, but they are unusable because they don't have a next hop. So if I do a show route on them and then a detail, oops, aha, okay. So you always have to specify it as hidden. So now next hop reference count, next hop type unusable. So that's why this is not working, because it's not being sent from Memphis with a, it's not telling Biloxi what the next hop is for this route. It has to have some kind of policy that tells it what the next hop is. It's being sent without a next hop. It's kind of like a DHCP server that sends just a host address but doesn't send the default gateway along with it. So it has to do that. And you know, you might think, oh, well, why doesn't it just use the, let's see here. So if I do a show BGP summary, you can see I have a neighborship to 10.10.1.2. So I have a route to 10.10.1.0. It's my direct route. Why doesn't it just use 10.10.1.0? Well, because it doesn't know that that is the next hop for that route. You never told it what the next hop was for that route. You just advertised that route, but you didn't include all of the information required to have included in that route. So that's not difficult to do. All I need to do is, and I'm going to clean this up a bit and make sure that it's still in my hidden table. There we go. So I am, in fact, receiving those routes. It's just that they're hidden. So I got to make sure I'm still receiving them, and I'm going to clean up all of the extra commands, and we'll see what it takes for them to be received. And I have a feeling it will require just an export policy under the IBGP group, but we will see if that is accurate or not. Okay, so when I delete this, I think those will now disappear. Oh, okay. Well, they're still there. So it looks like a policy really isn't even required at all for it to be learned here. And we saw that too, because it saw that in the documentation that a routing policy, if there is already a routing policy for BGP by default. So That's interesting that well, I'm going to just do that next hop self, and hopefully that will fix the issue. So, and I think I will get rid of this. I'll just keep it without those. So looks good. So I can get rid of all of these. So edit policy options, delete, edit policy statement, next hop self. And let's see if there's help for this. Or how about set term 1 from, term 1 from protocol BGP, set term 2 then next hop self. Okay, so this looks good. Now we're going to need to apply this, and we'll apply it to the routes exported into the IBGP, which are going to be these two here. And then we'll see them disappear from here. And if I take away the hidden keyword, they will show up. So there they are. We'll see them disappear. There we go. They are gone. So now if I get rid of this hidden keyword, now they're legit. So now from Biloxi, I should be able to ping all of these. So everything here and then everything here, but I won't be able to ping this one yet. So let's try it. 172.24.16.1. Oops. So it looks like we've got an issue here. Oh, right. And I can't have that route filter deleted. It actually does still need to have a route filter. So set policy options, policy statement, term 1, oops, policy statement into BGP, oops, edit. Set term 1 from route filter. It's going to be 172.24.16.0/20 exact. And now edit protocols BGP group IBGP, set export into BGP. Perfect. So now this should be able to ping everything. So once it, well, except for Topeka, 24.16.0/20. Oops, 21. And we don't need the subnet mask. Oops, still an issue. So, oh, I did it on the wrong router. So, show system rollback compare 1.0. Yeah, I did it on this router by accident. Right, so commit. Okay, so I don't need, oh, it looks like I don't see it on there actually. Maybe it's, I guess I'm not sure which I applied it to. Yeah, I must have applied it to Biloxi, but just not committed it. All right, well, in any case, it needs to be applied to Memphis. So edit, or just do a show pipe compare, and then edit policy options, policy statement into BGP, and then set term 1 from route filter 24.16.0/20. Oops, exact. Set term 1, then accept. Set term 2, then reject. And then edit protocols group or BGP group, and then IBGP. Set export into BGP. Okay. All right, now we're going to see better luck. Ping 172.24.16.0. Whoops. There we go. So good luck there. And now 192.168.0.0 or 0.1. Oh, good luck there. Okay, so now let's try kind of the bigger moments of truth. Now these will not have the next hop self. Yeah, so I think this is going to be a hidden route. Oops, so it's just not being received at all. Let's look at a bit closer into Memphis. So, aha, so it does need to be, it can't just be this one route filter, it does need to be a list. So let's do that. Okay, and now we'll set, or let's go into edit mode. Okay, so now hopefully it will ping. So we do have a route now. We see we no longer get the show route to host, but it could be that it is. So it looks like it's timing out now, which means we've got a route in order for it to try to do that. So let's take a look at it. Yeah, so we've got a route. Let's see what the next hop is. So next hop type, indirect. Protocol next hop, perfect. So that's what we're gonna need for it. But let's take a look at what the next hop for it is on Memphis. So it looks perfect. The next hop is 3.3.2. So why is it unable to ping? That's interesting. So let's do a trace route. We can see it's making it to Memphis, but then it gets stuck at Memphis. So let's go to Memphis and maybe do a route. Okay, so it can ping from Memphis, but it can't ping from Biloxi because it gets to Memphis and then it can't go through. So I think I'm going to hang it up for tonight. It's getting late. Thanks for watching. Stay tuned for the next one. I think I'll be able to kind of get the bottom of this a bit easier in another video. So I got to figure out how to close my Zoom. Looks like it's not playing nice. I can hide the thumb. Ah, here it is. So stay tuned for the next video.